My father's message came at 8:14 on a Tuesday morning. Don't come to your mother's birthday. The whole family agrees. No one wants you there. You're a loser, and frankly, you'd only embarrass us. I read it twice, not because it hurt more the second time, but because of how carefully cold it was, like he'd edited it before sending. Below it, my sister reacted first, with a laughing emoji. Then my uncle added, "Probably for the best." A cousin I hadn't spoken to in months wrote, "Finally someone said it." I stared at the screen, coffee cooling in my hand, and felt something unfamiliar settle in. Not rage, recognition. For years I had mistaken conditional tolerance for family. I had been the son they called when bills fell short, when deposits were due, when someone needed an emergency loan, when appearances mattered. I organized holidays because no one else would. I covered costs quietly because my mother liked nice dinners and my father liked pretending he could still afford them. And somehow, despite all that, I had remained their easiest target. The disappointing son, the one who wasn't flashy enough, wealthy enough, obedient enough, I typed back only once. "So you chose money over your son?" No one responded immediately. Then more laughter, more mockery. My father simply replied, "Don't be dramatic." I smiled, not because it was funny, because for the first time I understood exactly what this was. They thought they were excluding me from something I needed. They hadn't realized I was the one holding it together. 3 months earlier, my mother had tearfully asked me to handle her 60th birthday dinner because "you're the only responsible one." I booked the private room at the city's most sought-after restaurant, paid the non-refundable deposit, arranged custom catering upgrades, reserved floral installations, handled valet prepayment, coordinated the guest list. They wanted elegance they couldn't personally finance, and because I still believed effort could earn love, I made it happen. By noon, I made one phone call, then another, then one more. The event manager was polite but firm. "Yes, Mr. Khan, as the booking account holder, you are authorized to cancel all services." I didn't ask for my deposit back. That wasn't the point. I canceled the room, the catering enhancements, the floral package, the transportation arrangements. Everything attached to my account vanished. By evening, the family group chat was alive again. But the tone had changed. "What do you mean the reservation is gone? Why would they cancel valet? Who removed the menu package?" My father called me 3 times. I let it ring. Then came his message. "What did you do?" I waited an hour before answering. Apparently, the whole family didn't want me there. Silence, for once real silence, no laughing emojis. No cousins performing cruelty for approval, because mockery is easy when consequences are abstract. Much harder when 80 guests are arriving Saturday and there is no venue. My mother called next. Her voice was smaller than I expected. "You canceled my birthday?" I sat with that question longer than she probably liked. "No," I said finally. "I canceled the parts I paid for," she cried, "and maybe part of me should have folded then. Maybe an earlier version of me would have. But I was tired, deeply tired, of confusing sacrifice with love." Saturday came anyway. From what I heard later, my father scrambled to rebook somewhere respectable, but underestimated both timing and cost. They ended up in a cramped banquet hall near the highway, with folding chairs, limited parking, and a buffet my aunt described as acceptable considering. People noticed, of course they noticed. Because my parents had spent years building an image of effortless success. An image is fragile, especially when the person maintaining it quietly steps away. No dramatic confrontation followed. No cinematic apology. My father didn't suddenly change. Some relatives painted me as vindictive. Others avoided the topic entirely, but something irreversible had happened. They could no longer pretend I was powerless while benefiting from my presence. Their rejection had exposed a truth I should have accepted years earlier. Being useful is not the same as being valued. In the months that followed, I stopped answering every financial emergency, stopped volunteering for emotional labor, stopped trying to purchase dignity through generosity. Some relationships withered almost immediately, which, in its own painful way, was clarifying. My mother eventually sent a brief message. I wish things had gone differently, so did I, but not enough to return to who I was. Losing their version of family hurt. Losing myself had hurt more. For the first time in my life, I understood that reclaiming self-worth rarely looks triumphant. Sometimes it looks like canceled reservations, unread messages, quiet boundaries. Sometimes the most important thing you can save is yourself.